Warning, danger.
Your internet connection is unstable, just like my personality. Just hit record on this computer?
Yeah, I'm a little bummed.
Okay, I didn't. All right, good. It looks like it's working now. So remember the little small-faced kid that doesn't swing his arms, real goofy, cries a lot? So I made him cry today. Well, he made himself
Perfect.
cry because he's fucking stupid. He was taking his test. He got rated on, or not rated, but recommended on flight data downstairs, right? So
Okay.
he's not ready. He sucks. I mean, he can't do shit. So I give him the test. I bring two, and I said, pick one or two. And he looked at me, and I'm like, pick a number, one or two. Didn't matter what he was going to pick because I knew which was the tougher test.
Yeah.
So I threw it down, and 50-question test, 3.5 hours. It's the longest test I've ever given in my life. And he said
3.5 hours.
75.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, it was horrible. Absolute garbage.
That's
And
fun.
I was upstairs, but I came downstairs to give the test because they didn't need me in the tower. So I was like, dude, I said, my food's upstairs. I'm starting to get hangry. We need to wrap this up. So I let him finish, tried to walk him through a few things, and then just snatched the paper up when he was done. And he looked at me, are you going to grade it? And I said, I'm going upstairs. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat, and then I'll grade it. Can I come? And I'm like, yeah, but you're going to watch me eat. So I walk up there, throw my stuff in the microwave, turn around, and there he
Just
is.
right there.
And I'm like, I'm going to eat. So he goes and looks out the window.
Does he not have any friends?
Oh, he's weird, dude. And everybody says that. Even the weird kids like, this dude's weird. So anyway, of course, he failed the test. And I was like, all right, I'll give you to Monday to take it. And hopefully you pass it. If then, we'll do a check ride next week. But we'll see. We'll see.
Nice. That sucks.
He left the tower. George called. He's like, hey, how did he do on the test? And is he still up there? And they're like, no, he should be downstairs. Well, he's not downstairs. And I was thinking, oh, shit. He took
jumped.
the door to the catwalk and jumped. And I was like, nobody watch. Damn it. But I think he went to the bathroom to cry like he should have, like I've told him to do. Don't let anybody see it. And then he sat in the corner the rest of the day and didn't get on position or anything or study, just kind of. So I'd beat
Just
another one.
That's good.
Yep.
Beating
That's how my
him in
day was
submission.
spent. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Man,
this
if you
is-
were still in, you could be there. You could be a sergeant. You could be the next radar chief.
No, I'm good.
Because our gunny's not going to make it. And they're like, well, the
Uh-oh.
Marines got to step up. What sergeants do we have? And I was like, we don't have any. But we're about to have one. And I'm like, he's fucking worthless.
Wait, you don't have any sergeants still?
Not that
Or
are radar soups.
Really?
Yep. So I was like, man, I said, I don't. And Joe's like, well, somebody's got to step up. I'm like, all right. And I pulled Gunny Williams out, and then I was like, hey, bro, I said, this is what Joe's talking about. And he goes, I've already cut it off. He said, I've talked to him. I'm the best bet, or not me, but Gunny. He said, I'll get rated quick and take it over for you. He said, because it's got to be a Marine, and we have nobody. And I said, well, so-and-so's picking up sergeant. And I said, I don't like it. And he goes, that's out of the question. He goes, there's no way. So
Nice.
get my way again.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he didn't want to come back. Did he want to come back to Jacksonville? How was he feeling about coming back?
I think he wanted to come back because I
All
think
his family's in North Carolina, right?
yeah, he's from Kinston, just right up the road, and
Yeah.
I think that this might be his last tour. I think he can retire after
Should
this.
be. Yeah.
So I think that'll be his 20. So might as well come over here. I mean, he's got help with the kids or his kid on the way. I think. I don't know, but yeah, all his family's from Kinston and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know he has at least his first over there when he was in Japan, and I think his wife's pregnant again, or was pregnant, has already had. There's either one really new or about to be really new.
Yeah, I can't remember because I think it's really new. He had it either earlier this year or maybe at the end of last year, but I don't know. I don't keep up with him.
Too many. It's like rabbits. Well, all right. So, I mean, we started off great. Like, don't get me wrong, that was good. But yeah, so you're Brad.
Sorry, I had stuff I had to get off my.
Oh, that's all right.
Hi.
That's what this is all about. No, all right. So yeah. So obviously, Brad Ottinger. I was gonna say life partner. That was the first thing that popped into mind, but I mean, we're taking the relationship distance a little too far. Long distance, a little too far.
Kind of like herpes. You keep coming back.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it burns. But no, so obviously we worked together in North Carolina for a while when I was a wee boot up until I got out, since I did my whole time in Jacksonville, and you've been there forever. So, I mean, speaking of going from Japan to Jacksonville, North Carolina, that's been you. You made 2 trips. Like,
yes, shit. Pretty much.
Yeah, because when did you get to North Carolina? It was what, 96, 97?
94.
God, all right. I was trying not to make it sound too old, but all right.
Oh no, I'm there. I'm getting there.
You're telling me. And you did what? You said you only did a year in Japan, right?
Yeah, that's the tours that they had. The unaccompanied was a year, and then accompanied with family was 2 years at the time. Now it's like 2 and 3.
Or something like that, yeah. Beautiful. All right, well, so I guess we should start from the beginning, since we tried this the other day, and just the audio is shit. I mean, it's probably not much better right now, but it's got to be a little bit improved, so.
But I mean, we look real cool with our headsets. I mean, I wear something like this all day anyway, so set to see if I could plug this thing in. Oh, speaking of which, there's Brandon,
Stranger danger.
my daughter.
Hey, did he show you well, she probably can't hear me right now, but.
No, she said she couldn't.
Well, you could, here, let her borrow your headset real quick.
Hello.
Hello, love, how are you?
I'm good. Are you bald?
I am bald, yeah.
I cut his hair last time.
I shaved my head, yeah.
Got a fucking mohawk.
Why?
I got tired of doing my hair. I would wake up and Madison would be like rubbing all over it and stuff like that. And yeah, I just decided to shave it.
I heard you spent like forever in the bathroom.
Forever in the bathroom. Who you been talking to? In the bathroom. Oh yeah.
He said at the Spartan race you spent like an hour in the bathroom.
Oh, Mike can attest to that.
Yeah, you have to decompress. You have to decompress. Everything's so tight because the water's so cold.
High maintenance.
Anyways, so did Dad show you the Snapchat video or the video I sent of him of like your modeling pictures?
Yes.
That I made. Yeah,
yes.
I always wanted to know what a squatty potty like the unicorn looked like, had an upset stomach and couldn't quite make it to the potty, and just all over your face. That was the first thing that popped into my head. Do you not have Zoom dance class right now or something?
Huh?
I'm easily bored.
Do you not have Zoom dance class going on right now?
Not today. We don't have dance. We're done with it now. Since last week.
Forever?
No.
Oh, I thought your dad was going to save a whole lot of money. That's why I was asking.
Apparently we're 8th.
Yeah.
He saved a little money.
He's saving a little money.
Yeah, because we didn't go to like half the competitions, so you saved some money. And
I bought me a new bicycle, like $1,000. Yay!
It got like everything connected to it.
Yeah, I keep buying stuff for it.
That's kind of on the homosexual side, we'll say that. He bought him a purple mountain bike. And I did see the video, too, that he took of you, like, trying to do a little trail jump and getting a smacking hoo-ha area. Yeah. That's not how that works. You're supposed to stay
Yeah.
on the bike.
Yeah.
Your hooch?
Well, I didn't mean it.
Well, I would hope you didn't mean it. That's just like jackass. What the hell?
Yeah, I just fell.
Want grandkids?
Pitiful.
I do want I
What?
that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I'm sure you guys want grandkids, but
Yeah, probably. I mean, he's got enough. All right, get it back to Dad. We're going down a weird rabbit hole right
Getting
now.
overrun. I'm outruled.
Yeah, no doubt. We still have 4 more. All right, yeah.
okay, I can leave it back.
Go away, crazy.
All right, let you close the door.
Bye.
See, that's what happens.
We were going down a weird rabbit hole, and I was like, oh, I'm not drinking enough yet. I gotta start drinking some more.
What? Oh, yeah, we'll have to. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
They're test tube babies, so they don't act right.
Their head bounced off the little cylinder too many times. That's funny. Yeah, dude, that video you posted of her riding that bike.
Spinning them around.
That bike video that I saw on your Instagram the other day where it just straight up just wow right into her hooch. I was like, oh my God, like that hurts me. Like, I know that hurt. But she kind of did it classy though. She like stood there, held it, and crossed her legs.
And then she forgot the video was running, and I started my period early. Ooh, nobody needs to know that.
I didn't know that part.
Oh, you didn't hear?
Spoiler alert! Jesus Christ!
You have to listen to the end. To film, Stephanie tried to do it, and then that's Brianna, and I started laughing. I couldn't film the rest of it because I was laughing too hard at her.
See, those are the kind of things like if you don't have a daughter, or if you do have a daughter, like Madison's only 3. I have those to look forward to. You know what I mean? Like those little instances where it's like, that shouldn't freak me out as a dad, but okay, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. My kids are funny, smart asses, but they're funny. So yeah.
Don't worry, mine's genetically like already predisposition for that. Like she's just smart ass, just like she has a good mixture of mom and dad. She's really smart like mom. I'm not dumb, but then she gets really strong and she's really athletic. So I'm hoping she gets that from my side because she is kind of clumsy, but she can already throw like a ball. Like she's looking at you and like can throw it. And I'm like, she's only 3. All right, so we go play. Now it gets away from her obviously, but for the most part she can whip the shit out of the thing. I'm so proud of her. She loves soccer right now too, and can kick and run. And
I'm not so proud of that.
Yeah, I don't know where she got this like noise she makes when she kicks the ball, but it's like almost like a Street Fighter noise or something like that, karaoke or something. It's just so weird. But
I've seen her mom do a Spartan race, so I've heard some noises across obstacles and whatever. So definitely from her side.
It's generational. We're figuring that out. It's the noises, the weird noises are generational. It's for damn sure. I mean, yeah, when she showed you my wife showed you her O face at the gym that one day, you know, it's like concerning but funny. Yeah, I'm gonna giggle. Screw it.
She was so mad at us.
Oh yeah, that's every day. That's what I told her. I was like, maybe we should just, you know, if you could telecommute from work, we should just move back to North Carolina. I was like, the cost of living is ridiculously cheap. Like we already know that, you know, they set the rent right around what, you know, the bring home is for all the military personnel. Like they know what they're going to bring home for that the housing allowance every month. So it's like we could get a kick-ass house out in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and live like king and queen. Just like, no. Okay, what about Raleigh or Charlotte? I'm trying to close the gap, but it's not working. So, oh well.
Awfully nice in Charlotte and Raleigh. I mean, she could work there somewhere, surely.
Yeah. Well, she's always said she wanted to live in Asheville, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. Mountains
Asheville's doable because when I retire, I'm heading that way. So we'll be just across the mountain.
We got what, 5 more years, 6 more years, something like that.
15, 20, I don't know, death. It seems forever, so.
That's like the worst warranty ever. 15 or 20 years or death, whichever comes first. It's like, oh shit, all right. That's not good.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Well, all right, so I guess that's a good segue back into what we were talking about. So you wanted to head back east, or I guess in this case it'd be west, but you want to be in East Tennessee. And that whole not Rocky Mountain shit. Blue Ridge Mountains is what I meant to say.
Yeah, Smoky Mountains. Yep.
Yeah, but that sounds weird. It's foggy. It's not smoke. Like if it's smoke, like there's something wrong. Like shit's on fire. But yes, the Smoky Mountain Range, all that good stuff. But
which happens.
Mhm.
Moonshine stills, etc.
Yeah, is there an explosion or just a little too hot? But yeah, so you're from that area, obviously. Now I always just point at Knoxville and I'm like, yeah, he's from that area. But like, so what was the town you grew up in?
Parrottsville is where I'm from. It's one of the oldest towns in Tennessee, but it's a small dot on a map. Bypassed us. We've got no stoplight. We have a little blinky light next to what used to be the bank, which turned into somebody's house. I don't know if they lived in the vault or whatever, but I have no idea what it is now. But the only thing we have there basically is the Dollar General. We call it the Parrottsville Walmart because I've never seen a Dollar General that busy in my life. There are people there, parking lots full all the time because you have to drive 30 minutes left or right to get to a town to get where. And if you go to Greenville, it's much further. So,
Yeah. Oh, it's not too bad though.
but yeah, I tell everybody I'm from Knoxville because everybody knows kind of where Knoxville's at. Sometimes Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, people know where that's at. So a little bit further east than that.
Like I'm from Tennessee, and if you said Parrottsville, I was like, I have no idea where that's at. So yeah,
I've met two people in the Marine Corps. One when I was in, and then one just the past few years that knows where Parrottsville's at. And town Greenville, it's about 30 minutes just north of us. And then the other one, he used to travel around that area and lived in a small town towards Knoxville, but he was familiar with the area.
Yeah,
Don't get too many people from Parrottsville doing anything.
Yeah. Well, and that's all right. So considering from the same state, like I was born in Jackson, which is kind of like, the excuse me, the old Casey Jones, all that kind of area like that, the old country store or whatever. The Casey Jones old country store or something like that. That was the biggest tourist attraction in the town I grew up in for a long time because it was right off the interstate. It was like one of those buffet style, like old timey. It was like a Cracker Barrel before there was Cracker Barrel kind of thing. But it was larger and grander and had a candy shop in it and stuff like that. Cracker Barrel just went, yeah, okay, we'll do it better, and just like condensed everything and put it all in like one square room. This one had like, you could just tell it was old. Like it was cool because you had like the parlor doors and all that kind of stuff to go into like the ice cream room, and then where you could do the single scoop. But then if you did like the buffet though, you could totally skip that stuff. You could just go straight to like the soft serve and all that kind of stuff from memory. But it was the greatest for like breakfast because who doesn't love a breakfast buffet? All you can eat bacon, like yeah, sign me up. And you can make your own pancakes and all that kind of stuff. It's great. But yeah, but that was small towns. They're awesome. But yeah, besides that, like when I was in like elementary school, middle school, and stuff like that, I lived in Bells. You ever heard of Bells, Tennessee?
No.
Exactly. Like I said, same state, and it's like, nope, never heard of that shit. That's no. So like more redneck side of the state, more hillbilly side of the state. So.
Yes, absolutely. One leg longer than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Walking around the mountains all day.
Walking in circles. Why are you walking all funny? Long story. Or short story, however you want to look at it. But all right, so yeah, so you went from Tennessee. I know last time when we tried to record this episode last week, but you had a lot of family members and stuff like that that were in the Marines. And so was there pressure on that as far as like whenever you were getting out of high school or even before you got out of high school when you signed up? Like, was it like, I just don't want to be a pussy. All my other guy family members have been Marines or in the military and I'm going to do it too? Or what was it like?
Well, I knew I needed to do something because I was done with school. I hated every bit of it. There was more pressure to go to college than there was military or anything.
Yeah.
School that I knew I would not get into. So I could go, I've got no options. I have to join the military to kind of convince my mom, but my mom was for it. She knew that I needed some direction that I didn't have. It was my dad that really needed convincing. But if you're going to join the military, I mean, that's exactly the way it was. I'm going to join the toughest and meanest, and I'm not going to be a pussy. So
Yeah,
Marine Corps it is,
that's it. Might as well join this one. That was my way of looking at it. It was like, all right, if I'm going to do this, which I didn't do it until I was 25. And it was like, all right, well, if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it right. And that's what I thought. I was like, all right, you always hear about the Marines, how big and badass they are. And then get there. It's like, okay, I'm just terrified for the first few months I'm in. And then you probably get to like the fleet or, your A schools or anything like that. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it was, especially our Pogue life. I swear to God, I'm going to do like the Tupac thing and get Pogue life across my stomach. Because it just makes me feel like I went back to the puss, softer side, of the Marine Corps. Every Marine a
swing with the wing.
That's right. I mean, every Marine a rifleman, all that stuff. So yeah, we could shoot, but at the same time, like, we don't do it as often. And the infantry guys, I always love that when we went to like sergeant's course or corporal's course. It's like, what do you guys think about the statement every, whether you have people that work admin or post office or chow hall or code side of stuff, or every Marine's a rifleman, they would all that would just light them up. And it was the funniest shit because it's like, dude, you got a little bit of crayon right here, just calm down, wipe your mouth, and then we'll talk later. But it was always fun. So it wasn't necessarily pressure. It wasn't like, hey, everybody went into the military before you did, or in the Marines before you did, grandpa, uncles, all that stuff. So it wasn't like pressured on you. It wasn't.
It wasn't pressured. It was just college, or you have to do something. And we had just moved my senior year, Samp place in South Carolina that I absolutely hated. And I just was going to school, and Ashley really hadn't thought about the Marine Corps. And, first few days you're making friends. Kind of. I know I used to make friends. I don't do it anymore. I learned my lesson. But this guy was, hey, talking to me. What are you going to do? And I said, I don't know. I don't want to go to school. So he kind of convinced me to talk to this recruiter. This guy was going into the Marine Corps. He said, I'm going. This is all I want to do. Wore the shirts, the stickers, all that shit, And he decided, why don't you come in on the buddy program? So I was like, sounds great to me. And yeah, I know, right? I used to make real good friends. You're jealous. Right. I know.
Yeah.
But so I eventually got my mom on board, got my dad on board. Again, take a little more convincing because I was 17, so they had to sign the contract, and was signed up to go to Paris Island on the buddy program. You and your friend, so you can survive the perils of boot camp, stay strong, and fight the man together, I guess.
Oh, so that's what the buddy program is. Like, you sign up together, you go together, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you would go through boot camp. I believe in that rotation, you should wind up at MCT together. And depending upon, MOS, I don't know if they would go after that or whatever, but it's basically, I guess, just get through boot camp. And plus, I think it was a recruiting tool. Hey, you've got a friend. Why don't you bring him so they can meet quota too,
of course, yeah.
Which it didn't work out for my recruiter. So the funny story about the buddy program is it's stupid. We get down to MEPS in Columbia, South Carolina. We've had our physicals. They're putting us in the hotel. We are going to boot camp the next day. At his physical, they're like, are you taking any medications? Yes. I just kind of looked at him, and they're like, what is it? He goes, I don't know. Well, what's it for? My stomach. What's wrong with your stomach? I have stomach trouble. Well, we need that medication. Well, I don't know what it is. So they took him back to Greenville, South Carolina, right outside Greenville, South Carolina. And he was supposed to get the medicine. He goes, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back. They're going to put us in the same platoon. I ain't seen that motherfuckers.
Nice.
He did go visit my parents. I don't know if it was in boot camp or like a year or two after, I was in the Marine Corps, but he came by and wanted to, how's Brad doing? Blah, 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 ooh. He's a factory worker. He's just putting nuts on bolts or some shit like that. I mean, not doing too much. But my parents are like, he's doing good, but he doesn't want to see you, and you should probably never come back. So, hey.
Yeah. So he never joined at all, like, or did he get disqualified, or do you know any of that follow-up shit?
He just never came back. He panicked when he got down there and just didn't come back.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I thought it was like the Chinese finger trap. Once you get docked.
Oh,
like
once
that
we were
for the
docked.
lettuce-
Oh no.
Yeah, I thought it was
He
inseparable.
broke
but
the seal and ran for the hills, buddy.
it was weird. He was uncircumcised, but to get out of that, he just did it himself. All right, Mazel tov. Something.
That's right.
Fuck.
Stomp on the glass.
Yeah, I think that's for marriage. Were you guys getting married? Was that part of the contract or something? Like, I mean, I know this is more
No,
don't ask, don't tell kind of thing.
not at the time. Not at the time, because Clinton was not in office yet. So
it was just shut the hell up. Don't say anything about it. Yeah. Yeah. Obama was trying to get everybody else positive. Don't ask, don't tell. That's just a whole other rabbit hole. But anyways, so all right, so
you said hole.
yeah. So did that help you get through boot camp? I guess I'm assuming that lit a fire under your ass a little bit, like just everything that had to amplify it a little bit, right? Like I know everybody has their boot camp stories, like like the typical boot, but I mean, when you're in the suck of boot camp where this dude's yelling at you, and you got to fucking crawl through the mud and you're cold and you haven't fucking had a shower in a couple of days, or just anything that sucks about the entirety of boot camp itself, just the experience, it's just a world changer. I'm assuming that you just always had that motherfucker, and that kid, is that actually, hang on, wait, is that the genesis of your hate that I know was like a Brad Ottinger, like all the other, is that where the flame kind of went spark and like started
growing? No. The flame came much later. You don't know me pre-angry. So you can talk to my wife about that. We should have a session where you just
I bet you
talk
would.
to my wife. Oh, he used to be there, but he's an asshole now, but whatever. Yeah, we should put the girls on here one day. That would be fucking horrible, but whatever. Anyway, the first week, yes, I was pissed, but it was what it was, and I knew what I wanted. And then after that, I just kind of forgot the dude. I don't even know his name. I mean, I'd have to look in yearbooks to find out.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll look and we'll blast his ass next time. But yeah, I mean, after that, I was like, I was gonna get it done.
He's gonna be like, if we do that, like he's gonna have just shit blown up on it, even if it's just me and you tagging him in the post or some shit. Like, hey, fuck you, dude. Like he's gonna be like, what the fuck? That was like 30-something years ago, like 20 years ago. Son of a bitch.
Like, let it go, man. I can't let it go. I'm still.
Like the ultimate blue falcon, like circling back around and just.
Oh
fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Hope your double wide gets blown over in the next storm that comes by.
Oh, I know he was in a double wide because he got his girlfriend pregnant shortly after that too. So yeah, he was winning. He was winning at life.
Well, it sounded like it worked for him though. I mean, he milked it like, oh yeah, like I was gonna go, like we were just in South Carolina, and they said they needed this.
Marine.
I don't know. He probably turned it into something, majestic, where he's a hero.
Oh, I'm sure he did. He said I was medically disqualified. No, not necessarily. You were just a pussy.
See, that's it. That's awesome. Yeah, that sucks. All right, so make it through boot camp. That's where the spark of hatred started.
Ooh.
Got it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny now that I know that part of it. Like, you were buddy fucked instead of, I mean, it's pretty much how it worked. Yeah, that's great.
No, I wasn't. He left.
He didn't even put out. He didn't have time. He left the hotel before the night before boot camp.
I know.
But yeah, so you went to Paris Island, and everybody always says, like, because I went to San Diego, because I was out of St. Louis, so,
I mean, they issue you guys sunglasses and shit, so I don't understand that, but whatever.
No.
That's
Only if
what they
they're-
told me, and I have to
Oh,
believe it.
Only if it's prescription, which always pissed me off because we'll be out there on a fucking hump and they have those big motherfuckers out there or whatever, and they have the prescription like tinted ones or some shit. Not the recruiters, but the fucking instructors, which they didn't give a shit either. Like, they all had their big Oakleys or the big blue blockers, the more terrifying. The bigger, for some reason, it was like who had the bigger ones. I don't know why it is with Oakley, but if you are going to wear a pair of Oakley, it's almost like whenever you put it in a list, like I just imagine it like you're ordering off your phone. Like you look at it, it just fills up with screen until it's all of a sudden just like nothing but a lens reflection or something in there. Like that's your option. It has to cover your whole fucking head or something. Yeah, fuck it. Same shit that happened last time. Yeah, you're red right now. Oh, you're yellow, so you're good. You're good.
Okay, good to go.
You're good. Yeah.
I turned the Wi-Fi towards me, so I'm sure the TV's not streaming anything, so I'm trying to get it towards me.
You need to go fucking smack 2 or 3 of the kids out of your 4 and tell them to quit playing on their phone or turn their phones off or some shit.
Well, two of them don't have their phones. They got it taken away because they're bad children.
Okay. Why? Like, how does that work in isolation? I mean, I realize
Brianna's case about something. They're actually going to board games. They actually have pen, paper. They're in there doing card games and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Damn.
So
Doing
Braden
old
got
school.
caught lying doing school. I think I told you that maybe. He was doing school because he's behind, homeschooled,
okay.
by the way. So he was the only one finishing up. And we were watching The Hangover. And he was in the schoolwork. And somebody said, "Oh, there's Heather Graham in this movie. Braden likes Heather Graham." So Stephanie walks in. And she's like, "What are you looking at on your computer?" Because he's facing towards her, so she really can't see the computer. And he goes, "Oh, nothing. It's school." And then he clicks something. She goes, "What were you just looking at?" "Oh, it's school, Mama." And she goes, "Bullshit. I can see the reflection off the china cabinet that was right behind him. So here's his computer. Everything in the glass. Heather Graham." So he got his shit taken away from him, and he's finished with school, so that's good. And then Brianna and Stephanie were arguing about washing some dishes or whatever, and Stephanie almost had to. She said Brianna got in her face. She said she got up. "I told you I did," and so you know how well that went over with my wife. So Brianna lost everything. So her and Braden were playing card games and stuff when I come home today. So the other two in video games and whatever else. But
yeah, I see. That's how I don't understand. Like, I'm an only child, so if I ever got grounded or shit, I didn't even have a cell phone until I was 17, 18, something like that. Like, and it wasn't one of these cool ones. Instagram, like, wasn't even a thought. Facebook, I think it just started or some shit like that. Like, so I just couldn't compare the mindset of like when I was getting grounded and getting technology taken away. It was like an Xbox, like the original Xbox, like that kind of shit, or the DVD player getting taken away or something like that. But hell, you have 4 fucking kids running around, so yeah, like, oh, I can't have electronics. Okay, what are we gonna do? Should we play a basketball game? There's plenty of us here. Like, or do I go outside and ride 4-wheelers, or do I go outside and ride dirt bikes, or do I go get hit in the crotch with a mountain bike? Like, let's mix it up. Let's do this. Like, so I can't understand like, at your household how a grounding would actually be a punishment. It's just like, I can't take a selfie for a couple of days. Okay, whatever. No big deal.
that's pretty much it. Selfies. There's no Instagram. There's no Snapchat, tweet, whatever, your friends and stuff. But
Yeah.
Braden has no friends, so he just looks up girls. He likes blonde with big boobs. That's all his iPod's full of. They're fully clothed. He's 14, at least that I know of. And
Right.
then Brianna's texting all her little dance friends. But so they're playing together, and sometimes that's not a good thing because I walked in and they're tossing a ball in the house, like banging it off stuff. So I'm sure we're gonna have to say or so. So we'll have to give their stuff back.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at this point, it's pretty much, yeah, you get tired of them talking to you or bugging you because they want you to play a board game or no, I got shit to do. Here, just take your shit. Here, just go stare at the screen for a while. Get out of here. You can see that happening for sure. So, all right,
They made brownies and cookies for me last night. They're like, "Oh, Daddy, we want to make something sweet." And we were thinking about brownies or cookies, and I'm like, "Don't you make both?" So they mixed them. So that was delicious. Mama wasn't home, so it's free reign when Daddy's here.
Right. Well, see, that's what I told Jim the other day. I was like, dude, I've eaten ice cream every night. Probably, it was bad. Like, we were going to Sonic every single night because we're building our new house. Guess what? On the way back, it's like, you guys want ice cream? All right, sweet. And it'd be my idea. I'm totally guilty of it. I mean, like, I'm getting soft for sure. Like, I'm embracing the dad bod. But be like, Reese's cup all day long. Just, maybe I don't need a large. I don't want to feel too bad about myself. Let's go with the medium. Why not? That's the best.
Always go with the medium. It doesn't make you feel as bad.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm finishing it either way. I don't give a shit if it's one scoop or 1,000 of them. I'm finishing it. Like, I'm not a quitter. Let's do this. But especially since Madison, anything I get now, I want to try it. And it's not try it. It's like, I want a majority of it. Like, so she'll sit there and just, like, she won't even ask for it now. She just knows that, like, if she opens her mouth, I'll just, okay, here. So I can get to my bites quicker, some kind of shit. But yeah, so building a house, stopping by Sonic and stuff like that. I had to tell Jen the other day, she started making the Muddy Buddies stuff. It's like, we got to stop eating so much sugar, like, because we had a stash of candy. Like, we would buy the party size of peanut butter M&Ms, like, so the big one, right? Like, not the shareable ones you get at the gas station, not the shareable sizes you get at Walmart. Because I know where they're all at because we're just, yeah, peanut butter M&Ms, let's get them. So now I know where every size is almost in the displays. But we would get the party size. So it'd be like if you're gonna have a cookout or a barbecue or New Year's Eve bash or Halloween, this is the size of bag you get. And that'd be gone in a week. So it'd be 2 or 3 handfuls of them every night. And that was just me alone. And then they were picking at it, and Madison would just go sit on the toilet just because she knew she could get some M&Ms afterwards if she tried to go potty. So that put a pretty good sized dent in it for it. So we're all borderline diabetic, probably is what it comes down to. So I told her, I was like, we gotta get away from sugar for a while, just for a little bit, like a week, like a cleanse, at least, too much glucose, like too much.
Drink some water.
Oh yeah, we drink water like it's going on stop. Like, we'll go through cases of water each week, but it's sugar sticks around a little bit, Then I just need a nap all of a sudden, just like middle of the day. It's like, especially after I ate a handful of M&Ms, sugar kicks in. But all right, so you went from getting buddy fucked instead of having a buddy to go through boot camp. And you finished that. So Millington is where that's where the ATC school is. Because, I should have mentioned this earlier when we kind of were like, oh yeah, he's Brad, he's crazy. Air traffic controller is kind of how we met, obviously, or the reason we met. But when we talked about the kid jumping off the catwalk and shit, they're like, what are they? So for anybody that doesn't know yet, we're air traffic controllers.
He didn't, by the way, and he did not.
It's all right. It's neither here there. Anything that might Google it, like, did a Marine jump, kill himself? Like,
that was in Cherry Point. Not New River.
Was that recently?
No, that was a couple years ago, I think.
Oh, okay. Did I miss out on the story? So anyway, air traffic control. So then the school is now in Pensacola, but you were old school. That's why I wasn't trying to date you too much earlier. When the school was in Millington, which I'll let you fill in the blanks there.
In Tennessee, right outside of Memphis.
Right. Get out of Tennessee, fucker. Jesus Christ.
Memphis was a great place. Great place. I want to go back. I never want to leave. I don't want to travel anywhere. I want to go home, and that's where I'm going to stay.
So, I'm trying to think. So if you went, I'm trying to remember the last time we talked, you were telling me about there's a 360 dude, but that was before the Marine Corps, right? Because we got off on the tangent last time about you diving and getting certified. That was before the Marine Corps.
Yes, that was when I was getting dive certified in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Gotcha. But that was when you were in the Boy Scouts and getting touched up, filled up and stuff, right?
Boy Scouts. Hey, I was only in the Boy Scouts for a few months, and that's when I was much younger. And this foreign exchange student from New Zealand, very weird. He bit me. Why he bit me, I don't know. I know I'm sweet. He wanted to, and when he bit me, I blacked his eye, and I got yelled at, and I was like, "This is not for me." I think I was like 10, and my stepdad said, "Yeah, this stuff's gay." He said, "So I can teach you everything you need to know," you know. So I had the little uniform. I raced the little derby car, and that was about it. Never went camping. Never went anything.
So
Pretty boring.
pretty much you got, I mean, so were you just that eager to please kid or whatever? Is that why it only lasted a few months? Like they're like, Jesus Christ, this kid is gullible as shit. Like he'll fall for anything. Like, hey, come in my tent, it's warmer in here or something like that. You know, that kind of shit. Like, were you just the easy? You
And
know?
I don't even remember how I wound up in the Boy Scouts. I don't think my mom may have suggested it because I think it was right after we moved one time. Oh, get you involved. Let's do Boy Scouts. Okay, yay, we get to go camping. I like camping and stuff. So yeah, it did not last long. It was not good. Nobody liked it.
So you still like camping even after the Marine Corps?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I've got a better tent now. I can eat better food.
I was gonna say, yeah, like
Even though I would still eat the omelet MRE if they still made it. I It's either stuck in my head wrong or I just really liked it. 'Cause that thing, nobody liked that but me. I mean, eggs should not come in a pouch and then squish and it rise straight up at you. You know, it was
no,
delicious though.
that's like whenever you go to a restaurant or something like that, and that's or speaking of buffets again, but you go, you know, they just have that chow, perfect example. They have those pre-mixed like just fake eggs, I guess is the best way to call them. And it's just like, no, I'll go stand in the 20-man line for a minute to get actual egg. I see get cracked open before. I mean, there could be all kinds of messed up shit with that thing, but at least it's coming, I see it coming out. I don't know what's in that yellow goop shit over
I can have a shell.
there. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, MRE egg. Like you probably still have that stuff in your colon right now, like right now. Like, it'll be there till the day you die.
Probably. And like I said, that stuff was delicious, and I would still eat it. We don't have them gourmet veggie tail stuff, whatever you guys have. Y'all had some gourmet shit compared to what we had.
Oh yeah, they definitely advanced. That's for damn sure. But it was always weird because if it was where you know, anytime we were out in the field and like any of the trucks never came in, you always got that one batch that was the different label just looked different on the box. I mean, you know, there's no inventory where you put the new in the back and you just constantly rotate, so it's never the same old shit. They don't do that. That's just throw it in a pile kind of thing. So you'd always get those ones that were like, this label looks completely different than that one. Like, this isn't gonna be good. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna open it and it's just gonna go poof. But you never know. Yeah, there was some of them that were really good. But what always cracked me up was the people that took time to like heat them up or do anything like that. And it's like, dude, you apparently haven't been running hard enough or working hard enough. Like, just eat it. Like, who gives a shit? Just eat it. Like, no. Like,
I think the only time I would heat mine up was if we were out in Arizona or New Mexico. I would take it out of the patch or out of the pack and then put it on top of our like mat cows or whatever metal bin at the time, and just let the sun heat it up that way because nobody ever used those damn pouches.
No. Just it was. I mean, it's genius how it works. I'm sure it's some mad science, but yeah, I never had the patience for that shit anyways. Because normally when they're like, all right, you guys got 10 minutes to eat, it's just okay, eat it. Even though, like, you always see people try to do the cracker challenge. Like, I'm sure you've seen that online and stuff like that. It's like any Marine. I don't give a shit when you were in the Marine Corps. Any Marine can dominate that unless you added the cheese spread in with it. The cheese spread was probably worse than the actual fucking crackers because it was just thick. Oh my god, I remember that shit. It's thicker than any peanut butter I've ever had in my life, and I was like, it's supposed to be
It was
cheese
thicker than the
spread.
peanut butter because remember you'd get the peanut butter occasionally, but the cheese was just
Yep. Yeah, it never went away. That's what I'm saying. That's still in your body till the day you die. Like, I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't care what any kind of fast or diet you've been on or any cleanse. No, your colonoscopy, they're going to figure that out. Like, you in the Marine Corps? Yeah, okay, we've seen a lot of cases of this at the VA. What? There's a cheese brick
oh yeah,
in your
there's the
ass?
omelet he ate 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's going to look like a Denny's up in your butthole.
Ugh, the hell with that buffet.
How do you like your eggs? Scrambled. Yep. Figured. But sorry, so totally lost my train of thought on that one, but just fucking thinking about how horrible that shit was. So yeah, camping and stuff like that, it was a ruin for me after that because you're sleeping on the side of a mountain, especially out on the West Coast and stuff like that, where everybody and their brother that's ever been there has always slept in like the same little holes. Like you can see little indentions where they're sleeping and stuff. Genius though. I don't know who this should have been my first sign in the Marine Corps was that I thought going to the Marine Corps, it's the hardest badass dudes. Like they'll have their shit together. They send people overseas all the time, like just bam, bam, bam. You know, you always see I think, what was it? Obviously like Pacific, watched all that stuff. It's like, oh yeah, that's great. You know, all the stuff you do in like the police, like all that shit. Or like Generation Kill, like watching all that. I'm like, damn, dude, they got their shit together. I should have watched that closer. Like looking at it in hindsight, looking at it now, going, yep, that makes perfect sense.
They didn't have shit.
They didn't have shit together. They were not prepared for this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, sleeping on like the side of a mountain, it ruined camping for me, and I will not do it. And it wasn't even bugs. Like I hate bugs in general, but it's the same. It was the porta potties where everybody pissed and shaved and refilled their canteens was above you on the side of the hill. So there was always like this little river. I felt it would be the closest thing I would assume that you're all the horror stories about China, about like the gutter soup or poop water and stuff that they use, and they just boil it and scoop out the bad stuff. Yeah, exactly. The street vendors.
No wonder they got COVID.
Yeah, right. It wasn't a bad. It was just, yeah.
Too much shit.
Bad stuff. But yeah, that should have been my first like 2020 what it did, what it is. Like looking back on that going, who was the genius who put the porta potties and all the wastewater stuff up there? Like it's gonna run down. We're just sleeping.
That's a Marine operation right there.
Most definitely.
If I've ever heard one.
Most definitely. Yeah, and that was just my first experience with it. It was like, that's gross. The porta potty's right there. It makes sense. It should run that way, but the porta potty leans this way. It's like, oh, okay. Let's see how this is gonna work. All right, sweet. Yeah, that should have been the first clue. So yeah, so you went through all your training, ended up in Millington, didn't go to jail, so you made it out of there.
Yes.
And then it was straight to Japan, right?
Yep, went to Iwakuni for a year.
Yeah. And now you never, like, besides your
had a blast over there. It was so much fun.
Well, before I was gonna say that's the first time you've been out of the States.
Yes. I mean, I was going to say, sorry, I'm a little tired. I was going to say, no, I've been to Hawaii, but technically that's states. But that's the longest plane ride I've been on.
Well, besides your, Brownies scout troop experience.
Yeah, touching me into the.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's your first trip, which I had this thought earlier today, knowing we were going to talk. Is that, see, we're learning all kinds of things, or I'm having these weird, like, the genesis of Brad kind of ideas of why you are the way you are today. So is that why you married, like, a short Canadian lady? Because your first experience with some real, not hillbilly chicks was short Asian ladies?
I don't know. They're easier to pick up and carry around.
Fun size.
And run off with them, I guess. Stephanie first before fan. So I was already into short chicks. So
Nice.
because I met her in Millington too. She was a controller, so she was just a couple classes ahead of me.
Oh, you guys were there at the same time?
Yeah, that's how we met.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, see,
I
I
tricked
didn't
her into
know
going out with me, and the rest is history.
that. Damn, you're just a clean on, is what it sounds like. Go to Jacksonville, never gonna leave this place.
What?
I get one piece of ass, I'm never leaving it. This is great. I see how it is. All right, gotcha. So that means we're gonna be buddies forever. That's great. That's awesome. All right, just all under the wing. Got it. Yeah. Right. No, I'm not docking with you, circumcised. So that's not gonna take. But I'll hold your hand or something.
Oh, you'll hold some. You'll hold something, all right.
I won't do you like your to be determined name buddy in the early '90s.
We'll have to look that up again.
Dude, I'm telling you that. Oh my God, we should do that. So I'm already like writing like the script and stuff. We've already talked about this. I'm writing the script for like a movie, and I'm perfectly. It was like Brad's got to do this for me. Like he's got to do it. And I'm gonna have it to where it's gonna be like you just being a struggle bus. You're gonna have to grow your facial hair back out again though. So we'll have to play that whole game. So because it's kind of the perfect with like COVID-19 timing, which it kind of pisses me off now that I think about it. It's like, well, it's not going to be anything related to that shit, but it's going to be like post-apocalyptic type thing, but not just outrageously crazy. I was like, God damn, like everybody in their
You
brother's
could
going to make
call
one of
it
these
COVID
movies.
20
Mm,
or COVID 19.1.
19, yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the strain that's going to make them come eat your brains out and stuff.
Or we'll just call it 2020, that hindsight vision thing, since we've been talking about that a little bit. Yeah, so that way, Anyway, so that whole thing kicked off, but it kind of parallel on that. What we should do is you should figure out the name of the dude that you were supposed to battle buddy with to boot camp, and then we can do like a documentary. So like we can document. It can be an ongoing series. We can document like your life and how you guys like to fork in the road.
Oh, we'll Facebook stalk him for sure.
Oh
And
yeah.
get us some pictures and some timelines. Oh yeah, it's on.
Oh yeah. And I mean, any excuse if he still lives in Tennessee to go back to Tennessee. So, but hey, we're here to kind of make fun of you, but we just kind of want to make fun of you. So yeah, we're gonna do this, and yeah, we're in Tennessee. So thanks for the reason to come to Tennessee. Appreciate it. 20 years in the making. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So you go to Japan for a year, even though you had I know we talked about that last time we tried to record. Was you went to Florida with the 360 guy or whatever.
Yeah, it was when I was 16.
And did your dive certification stuff down there.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and never went diving again.
See, that's what
Went
surprises
over
me.
to Japan. Everybody's like, "Oh, they got nice water and stuff over there," but not in Iwakuni, not where I was.
No.
The water was dirty.
See, all you gotta do is scoop it up, boil it like they do. It's fine. Be fine. But all right. So over there, was there any that you never got? No, you said you never got to go be part of the dead over there. Go to Australia.
No, I was stationed and just got 2 quals, and then just kind of hung out. They didn't want to train me anymore because it was just a year, and that's all we required to get were the 2 quals. So I got those and drank a lot. I mean, a metric shit ton of alcohol. That's why I love Coors. You could buy a case of Coors for $4. And I was off Friday and Saturday, so we would get up because field day was on Thursday, and they would inspect Friday. So I'd get up, go to the chow hall. We'd go down to the store, get a case of beer, me and my friend Smitty. We would come back, and by lunchtime, we were going a case of beer and come back. And by the time our buddy got off work, he would come pick us up, and then we would go to Hiroshima and get obliterated drunk, come back and go out into town and shut the bars down Friday and Saturday because I had to work Sunday.
Yeah.
It was alcohol poisoning in the making.
or just training your liver for what was to come. Yeah, sounds good. Because we kind of skipped over that, but you signed this. Was it a 6-year contract? Is that right?
Like I said, I had a good recruiter. I didn't get a bonus, but I did get guaranteed duty station preference as I wanted to go to Japan. I got like early promotion or guaranteed lance corporal within like 6 months or I don't know, some BS, and ATC. So I got my job that I wanted. But he said it has to be 6 years, and I'm like, I got nothing else planned. Sure, let's do it.
Yeah. Doing that quick
My dad's like,
hillbilly
son, it's
math.
not halfway to retirement. Yeah, I was like, thanks for the math lesson, Dad. I know that, but I've got nothing else going on. So let's do this.
So when you got back from Japan, you were straight to North Carolina, straight to good old Jacksonville.
I can't believe it. Yes.
Now, so kind of touching back. So did Steph? Where did she go? Did she go straight to Jacksonville?
Yeah, she went to New River. She's been in New River her entire time
Oh my God.
since she left in 93. So yeah, she didn't go anywhere or do anything but right here.
No wonder she's so angry. I mean, she's redheaded, but Jesus Christ. It's just like fuel on the fire. Love you,
Yeah.
Steph. I love you. She's like my mom. But
You don't have to apologize. She'll never watch this. She doesn't listen to me. She doesn't want to listen to you.
both of us together, yeah, she'll be like, no.
That's a hard pass.
It's kind of like that Billy Madison thing. Like, you just wasted everybody's time, and now we're all dumber. Good job, guys. Keep up the good work. Yeah. So you get to Jacksonville, and so what was it like? I guess back in the day.
Oh, Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we had a lot less shit. Walmart, and we had the mall. That was it. We didn't have much down Western Extension. All that stuff was new. We didn't have all those houses where you guys lived.
Yeah.
It
Good
was
old
smaller. We
Carolina
had a lot cooler bars
plantations.
back then. We had one called Jugheads. That was really cool down by the marina, which was another cool bar. We had a bunch of air traffic controllers, and our maintainers were bouncers and barkeeps. So we would walk in, and they'd let us go behind the bar and drink and all that other stuff. And I mean, we kept them supplied with money and stuff pretty well. And then we'd go over to the marina, and we had a pilot over there that played acoustic guitar and could sing. And he realized that a couple of us played and could sing, so he would let us come up, and it was a good time. I mean, kind of an ATC bar is what we consider Jugheads. God rest its soul. It's been torn down and made into a part of a fucking park. But it's probably better that way. But they had the best jukebox in town. They didn't have anything soft. It was all rock and roll, heavy metal type stuff. And I guess last time I went in there, they had a satellite jukebox, and somebody played some Britney Spears bullshit, and it was a sad, sad day. I think it was me and Jay Spradlin, as a matter of fact. That
really?
yeah, we were doing car bombs. One night I went out with them. So yeah,
Nice.
That's how long ago that was.
Good old Top. He's out now, right? He got out. He retired.
Yeah.
He finished up at good old New River too.
Yep. And then
Good Lord.
he's in Colorado, Oklahoma. I don't know where the fuck he's at. No, like I said, he was asking to fuck off. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say if he's out in Colorado or something like that, that'd be fun just to go fuck around. Because I assume he's one of those that you got him away from everybody, like from the work role of everything. Because me, him, and Mike went duck hunting one time. It was a good time. I was like a moot, so I was sitting there kind of like nervous, like, okay, just don't shoot him in the face. Mike, you just duck. Like, I like you, but you're a civilian. I can't shoot him in the face. Okay, sweet. But it was a good time. Like, we had a blast. We didn't shoot shit, but I mean, it was New River, so couldn't really expect too much. And but yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, I figure he's one of those that you get him away from the facility, get him away from everybody, and now that he's officially retired, I think it would be. I know he'd be a good time because he's right up our alley as far as like he likes to go hog hunting and bear hunting and all that shit. He's another redneck for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good time hog hunting with him, and we've been to a couple of concerts, paintball together and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, he was cool until he put on a few more rockers and like he lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah. Either that or the system finally broke him. Pretty much what it was. It's like,
Which I could see that happening as well.
Yeah. Well, you just finally beat your head up against that wall so many goddamn times, or too many shiny things like chew your ass. So I can see it too. So I was kind of like, yeah, I don't want to do this for too much longer. I mean, yes, I have a sugar mama. I love my wife. It's my sugar mama, but yeah, no, doing 20 years, like to anybody and everybody that's ever done more than one enlistment, good on you. Like you're a glutton for punishment. I thought I was anyways, and I thought you were as well, but yeah, no, apparently we ain't shit for some people. Fuck.
That's what I told them.
We're smarter. Maybe that's what it is. We're smarter. Who knows?
Oh, we're something. All right. I don't know about smarter, but
yeah. Damn sure. Damn. So yeah, so Jacksonville forever now. And I mean, I don't think anything, even with the airfield and stuff like that's changed too much. I mean, I know the new facility and stuff like that, but from my experience, because I only know it's always run like a shit show around there. Something's always broken down, torn, getting resurfaced, rebuilt. We got to rewire this. We got to update this. And it's like, are we ever fully functional around this motherfucker? Like, what the shit?
For sure not now. They're tearing up the runway and all that stuff. And like I said, they were supposed to dig 4 inches down. Now they had to recontract something. Somebody's got to resurface. So it's basically just kind of standing still right now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I mean, we had less hangars. I think we had more planes. We had more functional planes. I can tell you that. We had a lot more operations and stuff. I mean, several hundred ops a day. Not unusual for us. I would sit down and fill up a bay log talking to planes. You know, it'd be we'd fill up 2 of those, just me, and then I had a guy right next to me doing the same thing. And that's back to back to back to back to back that we're talking to these planes. It's not spread throughout the day. That was one session of us getting our asses kicked, which doesn't happen. You know, we get our asses kicked now, and it's like, oh, I've got like 8 or 10 things, you know, going on. But it is what it is. You know, it all changes, and these V-22s and thrown into the mix don't make anything easy. Like I said, I mentioned that last time that now you can hear me. They call them ugly egg beaters for a reason. They fly ugly, they look ugly, they act ugly. So, yeah.
Well, and I think that actually would be beneficial for training purposes, like for not only pilots but for controllers as well. If they all like could be running at the same time, but when you're moving parts from one functional aircraft because it just passed its flight inspection or flight checks and stuff, and then all of a sudden you're taking parts off of that one, now making it a shit airplane that isn't up, then all of a sudden you're putting it on the one that's been sitting there for a couple of weeks or some shit like that because it needs to have its hours and all its checks and stuff done and make sure it can pass an inspection. It's like, wait a minute, but how does that work? That's like I said, pissers on the side of the hill running down to where you're sleeping should have been the key indicator that was going to be your life for the next 4 or 5 years. So just get used to it, dude. Like,
so the static display where you got promoted, I think it was last year, maybe the beginning of this year, they were up there pulling parts off static displays so they could get one of the aircraft running. I don't know if it was the H1 or the V-22.
Off a goddamn statue, like.
Yes, off the static display up front. The welcome to New River. These are the planes. Blah blah
blah. No shit.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
It's not like they were cleaning it. They were whatever. They were pulling parts and putting other stuff back so they can take the stuff that works up there.
That's amazing. Amazing. Go ahead.
That-
I
well,
gotta
that-
process that for a second.
Well, I
That's
mean,
fine.
it's just like our air traffic control equipment. The one radar that we use, the PAR, is so old that they don't make parts for it anymore. So if they need something, they either have to rob a museum or try and find a part or open up a factory to make this one part to get it to work. Factory hasn't run in years. I mean,
Yeah.
we are slotted for new stuff, but we're kind of low on the totem pole of needing it. So
You watch before all this shit happens, before you guys ever get new equipment, that stuff's gonna break to the point where it's gonna be like, oh yeah, well we have to bring these people back in. Like you said, open that factory, open that manufacturing part to make it. But that's a year or 2 year process or some bullshit. Whatever worst case scenario could be. And then it's got to be government contracted, so that's gonna work. They're gonna say, oh well, we only need this much time, but it's actually this time. You guys are gonna end up working on them like off the deck instruments and stuff like that. You guys gonna be out there in the tent doing
oh hell no,
doing that stupid shit.
I do
what I
not
always
get
used to
paid
have to
enough.
do.
Absolutely.
I used to always hate that shit. It was fun. Like I always was like, all right, well, I guess this is pretty cool, but this isn't anything like what it's going to be when you're deployed. Like I already know it. And I mean, fortunately, unfortunately, I never got deployed. I look at it kind of both ways. Now I'm leaning more. Now that I'm getting older and have a kid, she's fucking awesome. So it's more to the point where it's like, all right, I'm glad I never did deploy. But some part of me was like, I just want to go see how shit showy it is over there. Like just once. But yeah, no, that like sitting out there in that tent, like you can hear shit coming. Now this wasn't until like my last year there, so I already knew how squirrely shit could be, and I already knew how fucked up it could be. And then all of a sudden they're wanting to do that. I think we talked about this last time. They were or this wasn't on the last podcast. It was just on a phone call a couple weeks ago where they were doing the tour, the officers up in the tower, and they're in their this COVID shit, and none of them had masks on and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of like that kind of thinking. It's like, well, we have a precedence of rules and stuff in place, but yet you put this tent right in the middle of the two runways, right next to the taxiway, where a majority of them are going to go because they got to go here to there and all this kind of stuff. So you always had that puckered moment to where if you could hear it, and then all of a sudden it was getting closer, it's like, please God, don't let them forget we're here. Please God, don't let them run into us or like or something fall off the plane. So I was like, I don't want to die in the middle of a field pretending to be deployed right now. Like that would just. That's why I always told you and Mike, I was like, if anything ever happens to me and it's even remotely semi-funny, make sure the obituary reads that way. Make it funny as shit. Like, don't hold back. I know my wife would be pissed about it, but just make it awesome. Like, I want to go out with a bang, not oh, he died in the middle of the field in a tent. Some shit. I have flashbacks of like Boy Scouts and just put that on the obituary. Who cares?
Yeah, we when I was deployed one time, we were set up next to the runway, and the pilots were briefed that we were going to be on the other end of the runway. Even though you can see us out there with our radios and stuff, they would come over and land on us because they were trying to avoid us on the other end of the field, which we were not. Us, our radios, and all our shit into the woods. So we'd have to come back, run out, go pick it up, come back, tell them scoot the fuck over, That was a good time. And then they got us, we didn't have a tent. Well, that was the go-to. They decided to bring us like a small GP tent and put there. Well, guess what? Fucking helicopter blew that thing over too. So they finally got us a 120, which is like a hard shell case that went into the back of the Humvee that we could do air traffic control out of. And they set that there so we wouldn't get blinded by these helicopters and stuff. But yeah, I understand. And our stuff was better than I think this stuff is because, I mean, you're in a tent, and there's mud and water, and at least ours was kind of boxy and you could at least get out of the elements and felt secure in our mat cows and stuff like our deployable gear. But this stuff is a tent, like a camping tent hanging out of the back of a Humvee, and it's much quicker to set up, but it doesn't seem secure and work as well as our stuff did.
Yeah,
so.
no, and that was what I was like, why a tent? why does it have to be, or like, why does it even have to be this big? Because there were some parts of it, like you walk in, and I always kind of joked around
Yeah,
that I was
I
walking into a
noticed that there
sea.
weren't.
What's that?
I said, yeah, I remember that walking in. I mean, there's a lot of open, wasted space, and everything could have been much more condensed for, especially
Yeah.
what we were doing with it.
Yeah, like especially what we're doing with it. Like you could have literally put like, you know, went to Walmart, got some PVC pipe, or even to like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. Got some fence posts, put that shit in there, and just made it literally a tent, like the triangle side, and then just have 2 flaps on each end, and that would work. And literally accomplish the same shit as what the hell they have out there. But it takes them days to set it up out there now. And they have to make sure, yeah, that they have the elevated, like, it's not pallets, but it's the plastic pallets. And where I think some of them had metal, and then they have the folding tables out there and all the shit, which none of that shit ever worked anyways. Like, every time I think it worked flawlessly. And that set the bar really low, flawlessly, one time when I was out there, where it was, all right, cool, yeah, they actually have it put on, but it took them 6 months to get to that point. That shit was out there fucking forever.
Yep.
Forever. And then hell, I felt bad for the guys that like, there's your barracks room, it's right over there. You see that across the airfield? Okay, sweet. You're not going to see it for like a week. What? Like, but some of the maintainers of the techs and stuff would have to sleep there at the site. Even after the airfield shut down, even after everything, that's where they were sitting. It's like, that makes absolutely no fucking sense.
Again, Porta John.
Yeah, well, they did luckily have like a concrete structure out there that was for a bathroom and stuff, but I didn't get to shower for a few days at a time unless they snuck over to the room or some shit, I guess. But yeah, it was ridiculous. Oh, sorry, Madison's waving at me. Her pants sit up. Can't hear you. You want to come say hi? You want to show off your bathing suit? You showed off your 4 or 3 or what? Oh, you're super wet. Can you say hi? Oh, man, fuck this.
Hi.
Let's see. There he goes. Say hi, Uncle Brad.
Hi. Your bathing suit's very pretty.
Vincent?
It's mine.
It's yours. My goodness, it is.
You don't get it, I guess.
Your daddy would look very cute in that.
Yeah, I was going to take this after my daddy.
Are you going?
Hey, she's already been swimming. She already been swimming?
Yeah.
You out in the pool?
We've been swimming. Were we playing? Yeah, she's on the surfboard playing.
Nice. It's good. Maybe that'll wear her out. She'll go to sleep. Fingers crossed. All right, she's gone. Of course, now I can't get it plugged back in.
Can't find the hole. Imagine that.
It's been a lifelong issue. There we go. All right. Apparently I nailed it once. That was proof. That was my evidence. Yeah, no, those tents, it's just, they're trying to make stuff quicker and more accessible and all that kind of stuff, like quick teardowns, like all that shit turns into is just a cluster. Like it just makes everything actually harder. So, and then when they deploy without shit, I'm pretty sure, I think that's what Mike said. I think when they were deployed, they had forgotten some equipment or something like that. Something that they needed. And it didn't make the trip.
Well, that's usually what happens is you forget something, or when you get there, you're trying to steal stuff from there that you're replacing because, hey, we need it, you don't need it, and let's swap out to make at least one gear work. Because that's what happened to our gear when I was in is the company that made it shut down or something. We could, same thing, we have problems now. We can't get parts and whatnot. So each det had a full functioning radar and stuff. But again, as it went along, things broke down and they're like, okay, you're deploying. What do you need? This, that, and the other. So people would start sending the stuff that they had that worked. So you would have one, and then they would rotate. And then when they would come back, somebody else would steal and get parts to make stuff work. And, you know, we weren't even at war or anything like you guys were in Afghanistan, Iraq, all that stuff. You know, we just were deploying for shits and giggles most of the time.
Yeah. Well, and that's what always amazed me because I had buddies that were stationed in Beaufort too. yeah, we have to do this exercise or whatever with debt and this, that, and the other for a couple of weeks. Hey, we're coming up your way. I'm like, why? What? Why? Y'all guys have a bigger facility, y'all have more people. Like, I actually have jets down there and shit to play with. Like, why are you coming up to Cherry? Oh yeah, our debt shit doesn't work. Like none of their equipment works, so we got to go up to Cherry to use their shit because apparently they have the one system that works. Like, and
Yep.
oh, logistically that makes sense. You know, it's only gonna 6-hour drive up the coast. Okay, cool, why not? But it wasn't only that. I have to get all the logistics of all right. Here's the personnel vehicles, and then there's all their equipment that they're still gonna take. That's what blew my mind. It doesn't work, hasn't worked in years, but they're still gonna take it. Why? Like, if you're going up there for their equipment to use their equipment, why would you want to take your shit that doesn't work or is like missing parts or something, whatever it ended up being? But it's like, that doesn't make sense. And then all the other logistics support that had to go with that was like, that's ridiculous. I'm pretty sure they still got to stay in like a barracks or something like that. They didn't have to sleep out in the field tents and stuff, but it's like, Jesus Christ, Marine Corps. Hoorah. But
Yut.
yeah, exactly. Like no rock, pretty much is how it works out. But, oh well. But yeah, you apparently, we were talking about being smarter. You might not be enlisted anymore, but you're still in the shit. So how does that scale work? Like even though you're not still enlisted, like so oh yeah, all my buddies that started doing the 20-year term,
About
but you're on that trajectory still, but you're just rated as a civilian. You get paid more, so good on that.
well, yes and no. The once a Marine, always a Marine. So some of that shit's hard to let go because you know how certain things can run and things can run a lot better. I fucking lost my shit today on somebody that didn't keep their currency up. And this is like the third or fourth time that listened to them so they could get their currency back, over the shoulder. And I raised hell to a bunch of rockers and an officer in the room, hey, I'm sick of doing this. Something needs to happen. And they're like, oh, well, she's being quarantined. And I'm like, since when? And we have to get currency each month. So all the ATC people know there's a certain number of hours and things you have to do each month per position that this little girl didn't do. She's only been quarantined since last week. So what the fuck was she doing the other 3 weeks that she wasn't doing anything? That's exactly right. She wasn't doing anything. But so I raised hell about that, and they all look at me like I'm the asshole for wanting her to do her job. When we have things in place that if you don't do your job, you talk to, you get counseled, and then it's paperwork, 6105 or
Right.
whatever you guys call it, page 11, blah, blah. You have to have some sort of repercussion, but there's not, and nobody cares. So the sergeant and Marine in me gets pissed off about that. And then I'm like, whatever, I make a lot of money just to sit here and bitch about that. But you were talking about, guys that I was in with stayed in. Most of those guys are out now. So that's the only thing that gets me a little bit is I could be retired now. I could be getting a pension and free medical, even though it's TRICARE, name it, whatever. So that's I get bored though, so I had to change careers, and hell, I'm still not sure I'm gonna stay with this one until I get out.
But yeah, especially because I know that was we joked about that several times. Like when it comes Steph's time to retire, it's like, okay, I'm going too. Bye, see ya. Like,
I know, I need to.
pretty dopey. But yeah, no, we'll see, and that's where it's weird because it seems like it doesn't matter what your hobby is. Like you can always find a more expensive hobby, and between like motorcycles and hunting and like you guys like to wakeboard and kayak and you just bought a Barney style fucking mountain bike and shit like that. Oh yeah, not to mention
It's Little Mermaid, not Barbie. Little Mermaid. It's
okay, sorry.
green and purple. Just depends on how the light catches it. very manly. It's merman, not mermaid.
Yeah. Okay, Aquaman, whatever. Call you Seaman, not even fucking Aquaman. But yeah, so and the kicker is 4 kids, right? I mean, one was intentional, not saying the other 3 weren't. But apparently, whatever the doctor did, some voodoo shit, you got a 3-for-1 deal on that one.
Technically, only one was intentional. The other one was intentional, and then these 2 little outliers here decided to crash the party.
Yeah. Oh, are we
Speaking of,
blaming Bailey for something else again? All right.
oh, absolutely. Speaking of which, there's a new video out of a guy finding out that he's having triplets. Now there's 2 videos. One is the guy by himself and he doesn't understand what's going on, but you need to find the one where the guy's in the car and he's holding another toddler. So he has one and he has 3 more on the way. But his reaction, he's like, no. And I mean, it's the longest draw and fuck. And he's got the kid right here and he goes, what are we going to do? I mean, the guy's hilarious. I feel for him. I still get that little pit in my stomach when they told me. I understand what the brother's going through. He goes, the house isn't big enough. It's not big enough for us. What are we going to do? But you have to look that up. It's pretty entertaining.
I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, because I can't imagine, like, just because, like, whenever we first got pregnant, me and Jennifer started trying. We got pregnant the first time was with twins. And I remember finding that out. I was like, oh my God. Like, because for the longest time, I was like, no, I don't want to have kids. Like, I don't want to have kids. And then, obviously get a little bit older, priorities change, all this kind of stuff. And you're like, all right, well, I like her enough. Yeah, we could probably have a kid together. Why not? A lot of other people have done it. Why not us? But yeah, like, and so, like, unfortunately, we had a miscarriage, but at the same time, like, the whole time, like, from the ultrasound, we're like, oh, there's 2. I'm like, what? Like, it obviously, us being us, like, I don't hold back. I don't give a shit who's in the room. I mean, this is being recorded, and I plan on putting this out for the whole world. So eventually, maybe hear 3 people by, something like that. But it was one of those. It's like, holy shit, there's gonna be 2 at once. Like, one's bad enough. Just, I mean, like I said, you had Bree first, so one is like, oh God, that's just lifestyle changes and stuff like that. People say, oh yeah, you'll be good, and we're like, it's 1, it won't be that bad, and it's like, yeah, I'm sleep deprived and literally fucking licking this popsicle for just something, like, 12 o'clock at night, something. But yeah, twins, and so I can't even imagine your situation. Same with that guy you just mentioned. Like, you already have the 1, and you're like, all right, let's try for 1 more. Let's double up on this. Let's go from zone coverage to fucking man on man. Let's do that. That sounds like a good idea, right? No, yeah.
I got a fire team. That's all I need. Fire team. I can take everything over.
Dude, that's right.
But, the female viewers of this non-existence won't get this, but the one male, like you said, the 2 or 3 people that are going to watch it. So the best way I can describe it, and I use this with everybody, just imagine you just take your sack and you just flick the end of it as hard as you can. Now, you're not flipping the balls or anything like it. It's just the bottom of the sack. And you're like, that's going to hurt. And then you can kind of feel it start building from that flick up to your balls, up to the bottom part of your stomach. And pain, I mean, it makes you, bend over. And it just keeps growing. And you're just, oh, my God, I don't know what's going on. And that's exactly how it felt. They're like, oh, here's baby 1, 2. And here's number 3. What? You're having triplets.
Quit fucking counting.
Yeah. So, but it's been a chore, but it's fun. I mean, they're entertaining. You've met them, so you know. And,
Yeah. That's why
they get worse.
That's why for like the last couple of years we were there, I told Jim, I was like, we don't need to go anywhere for the holidays. Like, we have family here. She's like, well, yeah, I know Brad and stuff. I'm like, no, you're missing my point. Their family with us there is bigger than like my family. Like, there's me, my dad, stepmom, grandma, aunt, uncle, and my cousin Charlie. So there's 7. So us 3 showed up. It's the same premise, you know, it has that same feel to it. Like, it's not the same people, obviously, it's not going to be the same experience. But I would dare say that it's actually more exciting because in your household, everybody knows fucking jiu-jitsu. And I've seen very many days in my life spent at your house where all of a sudden you just hear doom, 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 or fuck you, or, you know, maybe they don't say fuck you because they were still babies at the time. But it
They
was.
might now.
Pretty sure they said it then, but you know, it's whatever. Like they were working something out, and one eventually was choking the other one out. So I always loved that shit. Like I said, only child, never was around that, never had anybody to fight with. I was fighting with myself. I was just apparently having a weird day, but it was just.
That's called masturbation.
Again, you just got to work it out sometimes. You know, I need a change of opinion. All right, let's get a different mindset going. Pump this one out real quick. But yeah, there'd be plenty of times whenever I turn around and Bree's choking out one of the boys, or, you know, Bailey, that's what I really appreciated. Bailey is the one that will mentally just, like that whole boop thing, but she does it so covert. That's why I hate to say it, and it's recorded now, but she's my favorite because she will mentally just get in there. She just gets in there, and it's subtle sometimes. Sometimes it's very blatant. Sometimes you realize, like, oh, that was a good one. But sometimes you're like, it's like one of those things you think back and like, holy shit, she got me. Or like, she got them. I see what she's doing. All right, good job, Bailey. But she's a smaller one, so she might not be able to.
She's had to be
top it out.
sneaky her whole life to survive. So, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, she snuck in here, so she's sneaking her way through. I got it.
That's right.
She's doing good. But yeah, man, it's just, it was never to that point where I was like, we don't ever have to go anywhere for a holiday. We don't have to go anywhere for Christmas. Like we did that, especially that, like last year we were there, we did Christmas and Halloween and all that kind of stuff over there. But yeah, it was a perfect fit. It was a good time. It was always a good time with the Ottinger house. That's what actually seemed to always get yelled at around the holidays.
It's pretty entertaining most days.
Oh yeah. But my favorite part was always like around Christmas because I was like, oh, when we're putting up the Christmas lights, I want to be there with recording just in case. And then Steph would get mad at you for twerking on the rooftop and all that kind of shit. So.
Yeah, I think I made you pretty nervous. I don't get nervous anymore. Even with my neck this past year, I got up there and was like, it is what it is. I know these 3 vertebrae are not going to break. It might be the one above it and below it, but I'll be all right.
It's like you lived a life of a crash test, I mean, I swear to God. Every time I talk to you, it's something new. And if it's not you, now it's Steph. Now that's when I know shit's really fucked up. It's like Steph starting to come up with elements. And the luck, or the fairy dust, or whatever, starting to blow her way now. Like, I mean, you can't beat the storm rolling through just as she's finishing up that like door project, and it fucking like flings at her like Twister.
Well, I'm telling you, it's starting too, because remember, it was my elbows. It's her elbows. And then my knee with the Spartan race. Her knee started hurting. Now her other knee's hurting. So I have to laugh at her. She's like, is this what it's like to be you? And I'm like, yes, it sucks.
Every day.
She's like, oh, it hurts and it hurts. And I was like, you don't hear me complain. I just throw my knee back in and go on. I ain't rubbing shit. Pop 2 Advil and call it a day.
I don't know. That self-hatred's been fueled since your Boy Scout days now that we discovered that. So that's a big-ass flame. Like,
Up the Boy Scout. I'll try to look up the New Zealander's name, too, for next time that bit me. We'll just blast a couple of people.
Yeah.
He's probably biting people and Kiwis and whatever the fuck else now. I don't know.
I don't know, man. If he's a biter or something like that, somebody's already probably shot him, especially in New Zealand. I don't know the rules for New Zealand, but I've seen Lord of the Rings and I've seen every Peter Jackson movie. There seems like a lot of spaces out there to hide a body. Just throwing it out there.
He may have been Gollum. I'm not sure.
Very true. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, didn't Gollum bite? Yeah, he was a biter too. You never know. He might be on something.
See?
What if it came full circle?
I didn't know. I knew a movie star. That's great.
Dude, what if it did? No, what if it came full circle? He's from New Zealand. Maybe he was in a troop with Peter Jackson. He was the biter. And then when Peter Jackson decided he was going to do all this stuff, that actor, like the Gollum character and stuff like that, was actually based off this fucking dude. That this little hillbilly, one leg longer than the other, Boy Scout dude that he bit a long, long time ago would come to fruition. And then if we end up blasting him on social media or something like that, going, hey, remember me, you biter? Like, are you biting pillows now in prison? Or how's that working out for you? That kind of thing. And they came full circle.
Wait, so
Eventually leading to us like having to talk to Peter Jackson about what was your inspiration? Oh, this weird kinky kid? Okay, got it.
yeah, he told me this biting story. He bit some kid in Scout church camp, whatever the hell they were in.
If it was a church camp, that makes
Thought
it
I'd
even
write it
weirder.
in.
Right, that's even weirder. We can go a whole lot.
Well,
of
no, it
what is
wasn't a
that?
church camp. It was in the basement of the church.
Okay. I was gonna say if you
And they had a pool table down there, so I remember us playing pool a lot. So it wasn't, like I said, it was not a really good Boy Scout experience, but whatever.
or maybe even one of the better ones, probably.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of Boy Scouts? You go to be an Eagle Scout, right?
Yeah,
Which
I
I
think
know-
that's it. I don't know. I'd have to ask Dan because I think all his kids went of it now. So
And they're all like Eagle Scouts, right? At least one of them is.
I think one or two of them are. I think the other one maybe, or he quit because he was one of the cooler ones. And then there's Ian Joe, the little one. He don't give a shit about anything.
Just a cool kid, just
Yeah,
like Dan.
he's the cool one in the bunch.
Yeah.
All the other ones are talking about physics and black holes and nerd shit. And
They are.
Ian Joe's over here got his shoes running around my house like like he's a native. So
I mean, that's pretty smart though. He just gets in the mix of the bodies and he knows that
yeah.
won't get picked out or singled out. Cool. All right, man. All right. I'm gonna go in here and see and make sure my kid isn't drowned in her pool or shower, which shouldn't drown in the shower, but you never know. It's
Oh yeah.
the joy
Takes
of children.
2 inches of water, I think. So
Yeah. Well, the only way, might as well end on a good
her
note.
head underwater too long this time.
The only way she could drown in the the shower, and it's one of those just like the little trough at the bottom, bases, whatever you want to call it, trough. What the fuck? What a tub is? A trough? Yeah. Way to go, Wade. Anyways, but it's just the stand-up single shower next to the tub. The only way she can drown in there is if I'm trying to think how this is going to lead to my divorce. How I word this.
She passes out drunk again.
Listen, yes, of course. But that's how I get her to go to sleep in the first place. No, no, because Jen
Got daddy's juice instead of hers.
yeah, right. Well, we already call her alcoholic drinks night juice. Guess who else calls them night juice? Hey, you got your juice, Dad? Yep, sure do. Yep, Mommy, is that your night juice? Yep. Okay. But no, and every girl goes through this. Like, when I take a shower, they leave a Chewbacca, a mini Chewbacca in the bottom of the shower, right? Every day. I don't know how women aren't bald. Like shit. Like, I don't know how women are bald. It seems it's every day. It's everywhere. But Madison hates it. Like, so when she's in the shower, she sees it. Like, it could be her hair too. Like, it's just a mixture of her and Mom's hair. She hates it. Jen picked it up one day and threw it on her. The only way I could see her literally drowning in the shower is if she freaks out by the mini Chewbacca that Jen throws on her and it sticks to her. And she bangs her head up against the wall or the little shower rack that's in there. That's the only way. But she's too damn stubborn, like, to drown on her own. Like, no, couldn't happen. And she's a pretty decent swimmer. But like I said, joy of kids. You never know what the hell's going to happen. So.
That's true.
She's my little tomboy, and she loves farting now, so that's always fun.
Oh, that's good. My kids hate it, but it's usually they just hate my farting, not theirs. But
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, no, she giggles. Mom, Dad farts, it doesn't matter. But she will literally sit there, and you can see her go, am I getting that? It's like poop face. It's very similar to the poop face. She will rip some butts in her high chair. That she's done it enough to where we know it's her, but right when she was getting able to control her butt, me and Jen would blame each other. Like, Jen, Jesus Christ, you sound like a 50-year-old man with a loose butthole. What are you doing? She's like, that wasn't me. She's like, I thought it was you. I'm like, no, my asshole wasn't that loose. I'm not that old. What the hell? She goes, well, we both look at Madison and she'll be like in the shower, especially, and she'll just be leaning like just weird, like Joker face. Like, is that you? She half-hearted. I'm like, oh my God. All right. Yeah. She's a little, like I said, she's the sweetest thing ever, but a tomboy comes in, makes me proud, but her ass
Can I
stinks.
ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay, so you know on the street where Dick is, you remember that one place you used to get fish? What was that place called? No,
Oh,
what?
Captain D's.
Oh, never mind. Is there a chain restaurant called Fish Fry?
Yes. Carolina Fish Fry.
I knew it. Okay, thanks.
Speaking of princesses,
I have no idea or an emergency, but there it is.
what was she asking? Your response, Captain D's. What the fuck she asking?
She's like, what was that fish place near the combat club that you used to go to get fish? And I was like, Captain D's. And she goes, is there one called like Fish Fry? And I was like, yeah, Carolina Fish Fries. And she ran off. So I assume they're still playing a game since they've got no electronics. See, perfect circle. We talked about that at the beginning.
That's it. That was it. Callback. That's what it's called.
Yes.
All right, man. Well, yeah, go make sure they're not ordering or burning shit down. They might be going, I could go for a hush puppy right now, and that'll lead to oil fire and you homeless. So, yeah. And with 4 of them, you know, none of them know where the goddamn extinguisher is. So.
No.
All right, man. Well, I will call you back this weekend and we'll set up the next one because shit, we barely touched on any of the crap we touched on last time, which is fun.
Yeah, but this one was much better. I think we kind of knew, and now I can hear, and hopefully you can hear me with my Rosetta Stone mic built for French. Oui, oui.
I feel like it looks, and this is just my mind and maybe a little bit of alcohol talking, but it looks like you're going to start, and especially with that face, you're a phone sex operator that's just lazy and doesn't want to hold the phone.
Well, they all want. I mean, how else are you going to operate?
Yeah, I mean, you got to get into the rhythm with them so you can be like, oh, now I'm going to touch here. Yeah, I get it. No, it makes sense. Like, hands free. You don't want smells up here. That'll just,
next time I'm going to charge you 99 cents a minute for my time. I'm really good, despite what my wife.
Fuck, 99 cents. That's cheap. All right, deal. Lock it in.
I get off every.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure the last time I ever saw a commercial was like $4.99 or $3.99 a minute or some shit like that. So, gotta love late night TV. See that shit, and you're like, who the fuck is calling that shit? There's no way.
Somebody, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I've seen them. I want to say it's probably been a couple of years. Yeah, no, when we lived in the apartment when we first moved down here, so that's been almost 3 years ago. It's like, dude, you guys never heard of Pornhub? Like the internet? I just don't see how that makes money. Like, but never know. Some desperate people, I guess, just want to know who that real voice is talking to them.
Yeah,
whatever.
I guess.
We'll continue that one next time. That could be a whole nother rabbit hole of fun. All right, man. Well, you have a good night. Go smack all the kids for me and tell them I'll come see them soon.
Will do. And same thing.